Before it became the city every Muslim dreams of visiting, Medina was a quiet town called Yathrib. It was surrounded by palm trees and small farms, known mostly as a resting place for travelers moving between trade routes. The people there lived simple lives. Some were farmers, some traders, and many followed old traditions of Arab tribes. But despite its peace, Yathrib had problems. The two main tribes, Aus and Khazraj, had fought for years. Their rivalry had left scars, and though they wanted peace, they couldn't seem to find it on their own. Around that same time in Makkah, the message of Islam was spreading, slowly, but with great difficulty. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was calling people to worship one God, to live with justice, and to treat others kindly. Some accepted his message, but most of Makkah's leaders turned against him. They mocked him, punished his followers, and tried to silence the truth he spoke. After years of suffering and struggle, the Prophet began looking for a safe place where Islam could grow. During the pilgrimage season, a few men from Yathrib met the Prophet in Mecca. They listened to him and felt something they had been searching for all their lives: peace. They told him that their city was ready to accept him, that they wanted him to come and settle there as a leader, a guide, and a judge between their divided tribes. They promised to protect him just as they would protect their own families. This was the beginning of something that would change history. When permission finally came from Allah for the Prophet, peace be upon him, and his followers to leave Makkah, it was not an easy journey. They left behind their homes, their wealth, and the city where they were born. The night the Prophet left Makkah, his heart was heavy. He loved his birthplace deeply, but Allah had chosen another home for him. Along with his closest companion, Abu Bakr radiallahu anh, he traveled through the desert, hiding in caves and taking secret routes to avoid capture by Quraysh, who wanted to stop him. After days of travel, the Prophet, peace be upon him, finally reached the outskirts of Yathrib. The people were waiting eagerly, standing in the sun every day, hoping to see him appear. When they finally spotted him, their joy burst into song. Tala'a al-Badru alayna, the full moon has risen upon us. It was not just a greeting, it was a celebration of hope after years of darkness. From that moment, Yathrib was no longer Yathrib. It became Madinah al-Munawwara, the enlightened city. The Prophet's first task was to build a mosque. The place where his camels sat down became the chosen spot for Masjid al-Nabawi. It wasn't grand, just walls made of mud bricks and a roof of palm leaves, but it became the heart of the Muslim world. It was a place for prayer, learning, and community gatherings. The Prophet himself helped carry bricks and work alongside his companions. Every corner of that mosque held the warmth of unity. In Medina, a new society began to grow. The Prophet joined the Muhajirun, the migrants from Makkah, with the Ansar, the helpers of Medina, as brothers and sisters in faith. They shared homes, food, and work. For the first time, Islam had a home where it could be practiced freely. The Prophet also made a written agreement, the Constitution of Medina, giving rights to all, including Jews and others who live there. It was a society built on justice, compassion, and respect. From Medina, the call of Islam began to spread far and wide. Battles were fought to defend the faith: Badr, Uhud, Khandak, and each of these took place near the city. The Muslims learned patience, strength, and trust in Allah. Through every hardship, Medina remained their center, the city where revelation continued to come down, where laws were established, and where the message of Islam became complete. Years later, when the Prophet, peace be upon him, passed away, he was buried right there in the chamber of Aisha radiallahu anha, beside the mosque he had built with his own hands. His companions wept, the city fell silent, and from that day onward, Medina became the most beloved place after Makkah in the hearts of all believers. Even now, when a Muslim walks through the streets of Medina, there's a quiet feeling that words can't describe. You remember that these are the same streets where the Prophet walked, where he smiled, where he prayed for his people. The breeze feels softer, the air calmer. People come from every part of the world, tired, emotional, grateful, to stand before his resting place and say, Assalamu alayka, Ya Rasul Allah. Every believer's heart belongs to Medina because it holds the memory of love, sacrifice, and the beginning of hope. It's not just a city of stone and sand. It's the living story of how faith found its home. Medina is where mercy walked the earth, and where every Muslim soul feels at peace, no matter where they come from.